Welcome to the cockpit. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot tonight. Guys, we're in the bye week. Who we got in the chat? What's go, Joe? What's go, Sports Band? Welcome to the chat. Matt Benzoli Fishing. When does this start? It starts right now. Patriots Nation. My name's Ryan. I'll be He's hanging in. What's up? We're going to do this the same way we do every week, boys and girls. What's up, TJ? What's up? TJ as Junior. TJ Decker. Matt. What's up, guys? Same thing every week. Check it out. 8:30 call-ins are going to start. We're going to talk all about our Jets. We're going to talk Sam Darnold. We're going to talk about CJ Mosley. We're going to talk about this past week in the NFL. I want to hear your reactions. Joe, Darnold is banned from all females for the rest of the year. He's already got mono. I don't know if it works like chicken pox, but hopefully you can't get it twice in 1 year. What's up, Ryan? AKA Fuckstick. Wow, that's pretty aggressive. Monday Night Football, boys. We're gonna be watching that as well. I'll get my stream pulled up. Oh, what am I doing? I'm hitting buttons. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the chat. Ben Jones, welcome. How you doing? Guys, got 21 of you in here. I want to see 21 likes on the video. Drop a like if you like what I'm doing. We're going to turn around against Philly. No more stripper poles for Sammy. Staff Sergeant dropping a bombshell. Christopher, damn, haven't joined this in a while. Missed the streams. Christopher, welcome to the chat. I wish you'd join more frequently. Have you been here? Can you please tell me the name of this song? It's so good. Oh, it's a great song. I'm so happy. Once I found it, I was like pretty pumped about it. I think it's called Rock Angel. Yeah, it's Rock Angel by Joakim Karud. Link is in the description down below for the song. It was a free-to-use song as long as I gave them credit. So, that's what I did. Give him some credit. Love the stream. Yes. Christopher, you haven't joined the stream in a while. I'm going to talk specifically to you. Is this whole overlay that I have here brand new for you? Is this a new thing for you? Because the guys that have been riding alongside me the last few weeks have seen it. This has been a thing for about a month or so. Joe Malone. Look forward to a good show. I hope so. Guys, I've been in touch with Howie over at Jets HQ. What's up, Alex? My favorite Giant fan outside of my buddy D-Mac. So, my second favorite Giants fan. Oh, geez, I'm changing things now. Where was I going with this? I've talked to Howie over at Jets HQ. I've talked to David over at Gangrene David. I have talked... Why is the Giants fan in the chat, sports fan? Because we like Alex. There's a Patriot fan in here. Not a big fan of him. Call him out a little bit. Talk a little bit of smack. But I like him because he supports the channel. He's one of our 29 guys in the stream. It's all right. I'll talk Giants. I'll talk all sports. This is something that I've wanted to kind of get into and do a little bit more than just the Jets stuff. Like, I like all the Jets football, but a lot of stuff, there's not so much going on with us right now. No, there's still some stuff going on. But anyway, I've talked to Howie over at Jets HQ. I've talked to David at Gangrene David. I've talked to Matt O'Leary, if you guys haven't watched him. And the four of us have come together. I have reached out to Jet Central. If you guys, which I know you do, all you guys follow Jet Central, you should tell him to get on board with Jets Talk. And my buddy D-Mac, there he is. That's my buddy. Okay, you should harass Jet Central. I asked him if he wanted to be a part of my collaboration with a whole bunch of other Jet fans, Jets Talk Show panel. He wants to focus on his own stuff right now. So we're not getting Jet Central in here, unfortunately. He might do some kind of guest thing. We'll see it. Who knows? But at this point, it's going to be the four of us. We're talking about, a Jets panel. I'm going to bring on some other YouTubers as well. I'm sure my guys over at Hashtag Sports, Mario and Paul, will join in. I have a few other, I've been talking with Chris the Entertainer and Bad Dog about coming on. So they're pretty pumped about it. I haven't talked to them about the panel per se, but I know they like collabing, so I think that's something that they would be interested in doing. The way this is going to work is, oh man, we're talking Daniel Jones. Talk a lot of Daniel Jones in there. All right, I'm going to keep ranting a little bit. So the way this show is going to work, we're going to have multiple panels, and it's going to be kind of like a around the horn style thing. We'll do our Jets talk in like our Jets specific questions. We'll go head to head and just kind of talk. I might be the moderator. Haven't really hashed that out yet. I think we might just call it Jets Talk. The channel's called Jets Talk, so fucking keep it Jets Talk. Or it might just be NFL Talk. Who knows? Whatever. Then we're going to go into NFL-based questions. And then I think if we are assigning points, we'll give someone some FaceTime at the end of the channel to watch. And how it's going to work, we're going to have a live show on Monday nights, The Cockpit. And then I'm going to do a pre-recorded show with those other guys, so that way we can have some good editing and crisp audio. And we're going to interject some clips. So if we're talking about Adam Gase or we're talking about something that he said, we can have that in there. You guys can kind of see that. And that will be about a half-hour long show. We're going to try and keep it between 20 and 30 minutes. I don't want it to be a very long thing. I want it to be easily digestible on a commute, or, people that have enjoyed my videos tend to like the shorter videos. The 2-hour long streams that I do, while it's fun for us hanging out here, don't really get many plays afterwards. So I'm going to try something a little different with these sorts of things. We'll see how it works. But the idea is I'll have some of these guys on the channel for the Cockpit streams. So we'll still get some of the interaction with O'Leary and with Howie and with David and all these other guys. So if that's something you want to see, I got one dislike. It's probably that damn Patriot fan. Or it's someone who just doesn't like me. Whatever. Drop a like down below. Leave a comment if you want to see that kind of video, or if you want to see any sort of suggestions about what we could do. I'm pretty fluid on this right now. Oh, what do we got going on in the chat? You guys are going crazy. Garden hose. I honestly wouldn't play Darnold. I agree. I would not do that either. I like Bad Dog, but prepare for a lot of shit talking about Sam and talking up Daniel Jones. That's all right. He's a Giants channel. That's sort of his thing. You know what? I would be very excited if my team played the two worst teams in the NFL as well. No, I can't say that. I really can't say that, because the Bucs wind up winning the way they did. So now I have no idea how the NFL works. But I do think the Redskins are absolutely terrible. And I do think the Bucs defense is absolutely terrible. I don't think Jameis Winston is very good. I think we're going to see a little bit more of what the Giants are over the course of the next 2 weeks. And look, Daniel Jones is showing all the things you want to see out of a rookie. You're seeing some poise. You're seeing the playmaking ability. He's making the mistakes. He's throwing interceptions. He's had a few that, really could have gone the wrong way. But by and large, he has looked the part. He has looked like the best of the rookie quarterbacks. We got Minshew. Jeez, man, we got a whole bunch of quarterbacks. We got Minshew. We got Kyle Allen. We got Kyler. Haskins just started playing his first game. But Daniel Jones is the most to be excited about, because the Giants have not really had much hope with Eli there the last 3 years or so. You've kind of known that it was almost time to move on from him, and it's kind of been this stalled situation. No Barkley, not what the Giants are the next 2 weeks. That's true. You're not really going to see what the Giants are at full strength. They do get Golden Tate back, though, right? I think it's after this week. It was a 4-game suspension. So that's exciting for Jones. I do like Galliman. Galliman, am I saying that right? I think that's really cool. He looked like he was playing well. I think the Giants' offensive line looks significantly better with Jones, just because he's able to run around and cause that little bit of chaos that you have to account for. And Dan and I were talking about this, just the threat of a quarterback being able to run, where the cornerbacks, the linebackers, the defensive linemen have to be conscious of this, where with Eli, you really did not have that. So pretty exciting as a Giants fan. As a Jet fan, here's my prediction. We saw that Sam Darnold was going in for testing today to check out his spleen. We learned last week that there was no image of Sam's spleen prior to him getting mono. So we don't know where his spleen is. They say he's been cleared for practice, but not for contact. Now, if I'm the Jets organization, if I'm the NFL in general, I'm kind of playing this, it's day-to-day kind of card, because they want to sell tickets, they want to get people excited, they want to get people, possibly gambling on the lines, things like that. People talking it up, and I don't think Sam Darnold's going to play Sunday. I think it's a long shot to have him play against Philadelphia. I think it's not going to happen. CJ Mosley most likely is not playing. I don't foresee this being very good for the Jets. So we're going to be probably 0-4. Then we have Dallas coming to town. Dallas has played probably the worst schedule of any team. They have versed the Giants with Eli. They have versed the Redskins, and they played Miami. So 3 of the worst teams up until the Saints game. So we don't really know what we're getting out of the Cowboys. It could be, if Darnold comes back and he is healthy, this is a game that feels more winnable than it once did. Alex, what are we talking about? Us Giants fans only brag because everyone bashed the pick from the moment it happened. That's absolutely true, Alex. I was with Gangrene David, and Gangrene David was just laying into it. Just absolutely tearing it apart. All the sports commentators. I can't tell you how many people I saw say, Daniel Jones, you can't throw. I think it was Francesa that was saying, no, this sucks. He's terrible. What a bad pick. And DMAC had my back on this one. I turned to him. I said, I didn't think that he would go in the first round. I did not believe he was a first-round talent. I didn't think he showed enough at Duke. But if the pick turns into a franchise quarterback, it will not matter at all. Yes, you gave up the 6th pick. I think you probably could have got him at 17, but is it worth having Washington potentially take him? No. So, Giant fans, you should absolutely be excited. Not that it matters what I think. I'm a Jets fan. But I do give the nod of approval right now. T-Jazz Jr. saying we're going to be 0-6. I can't really argue with that. It's going to be very hard for us to beat the Patriots. That being said, keep this in mind. The Jets and Sam Darnold had better statistics. Sam Darnold had better statistics week 1 against Buffalo than Tom Brady did against Buffalo. So, don't be concerned just yet. Us not having Sam was a huge, huge blow to our team. But I think we're going to see a pretty good team. Now, if we can figure out the whole, offensive scheme and everything, that's a little scary. We've been seeing the dink and dunk little offense and the screen plays, the bubble screens, the halfback draws, the things that made Gase so unpopular in Miami. We have seen a lot of that. Now, does that scare me? Yes. But Adam Gase has never really had a healthy quarterback. So he does deserve the benefit of the doubt in terms of, hey, this guy can win with a healthy quarterback. I mean, look at Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is the backup to Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL, which is weird for me because I feel like Marcus Mariota should probably be better than he is, but he's the backup quarterback to Marcus Mariota. And Gase won, 9 or 10 games with him? So I think with Darnold, Darnold's better. I think Darnold's better than Mariota. I think Darnold's better than Ryan Tannehill. I think we can do well with Gase. And Monday Night Football is underway. Got the Bengals and the Steelers. I was supposed to be streaming this on Sportscaster, but I guess it's telling me to please wait. I'm not exactly sure why. For those of you guys that don't follow me on Sportscaster, right up in this top corner, Sportscaster, click the link on the description down below. Add me on Sportscaster. It helps the channel grow. Doesn't cost anything. It's a bunch of guys talking sports like me. And it's kind of cool. Some people are into it. I think you should be into it because I'm into it. And I'm there. And I'm going to do some more exclusive things come my slow season. So once we get into end of October, November, I'll start doing some more exclusive stuff over there. That way you have a little more incentive to come onto the sportscaster side of things. Let's see. Are we live on Sportscaster? Checking in. Bum, 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 bum. Maybe not. Whatever. We're live on YouTube. All right. This year, a really important year for Darnold, so I really hope that the injury and the poor front office don't waste his potential. The scariest thing for me is if his spleen is actually enlarged and it has the chance of rupturing. Our offensive line is hot garbage right now. Jets for life. Mosley's not coming back this week. That's kind of what's been reported, so we don't know exactly when he's coming back. He's week to week with that groin injury. Garden Hose. Darnold will never be a top 5 quarterback. I think his peak is like top 10. He's not a generational talent, but still a solid quarterback. That's tough to tell. I mean, we saw great things out of Darnold. We saw a lot of bad things last year. He was a rookie. Now, if the Jets do not surround him with a good offensive line, he's never going to have the ability to have that sort of potential. We might shell-shock him the way David Carr got shell-shocked back in Houston. So you have to build around him. You got to build that offensive line. The scariest thing is, not drafting linemen, not getting offensive weapons. And none was probably done for his career. Robbie Anderson, probably not going to be back unless he signs a team-friendly deal. And then, what do you do? What do you do with your receivers? You got to look out there and you got to go out and get someone. We have Herndon coming back. He had a ton of chemistry with Sam last year, so that's going to be huge. You have a Le'Veon Bell who has been working his tail off. He has the most forced missed tackles, I think is what I was reading. That was prior to this past week because obviously Jets didn't play. Man. All right, what else we got? What is Mosley's injury? It is a pulled groin from my understanding. That's why I don't watch SportsCenter, just a bunch of bull. TJ Decker, makes perfect sense. LOL, Becca and her weekly door slamming. Steven, be nice to my fiance. But yeah, she's crackling some pretzels or pretzel M&Ms or whatever she's doing over there. Man, I don't know why my sportscaster's not going live. Whatever. I see how it is. Turn it off, turn it back on. Wha-bam! Imagine actually having Bell, Darnold, Mosley, Williams, and Adams and still having a really bad team because everyone keeps getting injured. Yeah, Noah, that's frustrating for me. Doesn't make any sort of sense as far as a team building thing goes. And one of the things that's scary, so we got to see Jamal Adams take down his Jets social media presence in regards to like being a Jet and all this other stuff. And that is absolutely terrifying because all of us were like, he's going to request a trade. Now, I do not want a trade of Jamal Adams. But, I'm going to say the but. If you can trade Jamal for multiple high picks or an offensive lineman and a high pick, that is something that could feasibly happen. That's something that Joe Douglas, who is very high on offensive linemen, could theoretically think. Now, I don't think that's actually going to happen. There's part of me, there's not part of me. My whole heart, I didn't buy this jersey to not root for Jamal. I want Jamal to be a lifetime Jet. And there's value in Jamal being here, even if there's not those impact game-altering plays. Like, what do we have? We don't have that interception for a touchdown against the Patriots. While great, like cool, great, nice stat line, not really going to determine anything in the game. But if you have Jamal and he's recruiting all these players, like Bell and Mosley may not have come to the Jets. Sure, the money was huge for them, but with Jamal trying to recruit players, this is something that draws excitement to the Jets, and I think there's a value to that that you're not going to see on the salary cap. It's something that I think you need to really consider when you deal with the effects of a trade involving Jamal. It would absolutely tear me apart. He is my favorite Jet right now, and I do not want to see anything happen to him. All right, Bengals are punting. What do we got? Pause for a minute while I try to figure out how this sportscaster thing works, because it should be working right now, and it's not. And it's really bugging the heck out of me. Bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Will Gase be fired this year after the 19th season or next year? I don't think... Damn, those chips are loud. Becca can hear it. Sorry. I don't think Gase will be fired this year. I really don't. I think because of the hand he was dealt with Maccagnan, he wasn't even able to pick the players he wanted. Maccagnan reportedly did not want Gase's input or talking to the scouts because he didn't want a bias to be put on certain players. So it makes no sense for me for to get rid of Gase after 1 year. Now, I can imagine a situation where Lincoln Riley is contemplating the NFL and fans are just clamoring to get him. Now, if I were a team, I would be the Browns, and I would try to get Lincoln Riley there. That would make sense. I would have no problem trying to go after Lincoln Riley, but I think pulling the plug on Adam Gase does not look good for potential other head coaches that might want to come to the Jets. If you pull the plug on a quarterback after a year where you got rid of the GM because he wasn't making good decisions and you just let him have a lame duck kind of season, doesn't look good. Not a fan of it. I think it's a strategy that losing teams have. You don't see that. These pretzels are making me thirsty. Should have a spiked Arnold Palmer. They're pretty good. Product placement. Gase could be fired. Gase could get fired if Harbaugh is available. If Harbaugh is available, I would do anything to get him. Although, which Harbaugh are you talking about? Are you talking about Michigan Harbaugh? Or are you talking about Baltimore Harbaugh? I like Baltimore Harbaugh a lot better than Michigan Harbaugh. But I would take Michigan Harbaugh as well. So lots of potential there. Sportscaster not working for me. Whatever. All right, focusing on the chat. We got 5 minutes before we start taking call-ins. Not trying to be that guy because I do love me some Jamal Adams. He does seem to be coming off as a phony leader. Really? Is that what we're going to call him? Phony leader, fair weather leader. I can't say that. I can't say that at all. Dude's been on winning teams his entire life. He comes to the Jets, and he has lost a significant amount of games. That's going to wear on anyone. And I'm sorry, Jamal Adams, he has been reading the company line the entire time. Le'Veon Bell's been doing the same thing. I love these guys. I would not call them phony leaders at all. I don't like Pat Shurmur as our head coach, says Alex Sneh. But if we keep winning, it doesn't matter. That is true. Now, what Patrick Shurmur has done was he rebuilt that offensive line. They took the guard last year. They got the guard from the Browns this year. They got the tackle from the Patriots. He's revamping that entire offensive line. He's giving his young quarterback the safety net of Ingram and of Barkley. Those are both great things. They're in a far better situation than the Jets are right now in terms of an offensive build. Now, I still, it's all going to depend on the quarterback, right? So if you think Darnold is a better quarterback than Jones, or if you think Jones is a better quarterback than Darnold, obviously that's how you're going to weigh those teams. Just having the mobility on the Giants right now is making that team significantly better. Joseph, Ryan, have you heard about the Vontaze Burfict suspension? Yes, he's suspended the rest of the year. That guy's a dirty, terrible person. I'm glad he's suspended the rest of the year. He probably deserves to not be in the NFL anymore. It is a violent sport. You do not need these kind of hits and these kind of actions on the field when the game is violent enough already. This guy shouldn't be in the NFL. Who we got? Tyler Jolly, welcome to the chat. If Gase was fired at season's end, who would you go for? Mike Tomlin? No. Jay Gruden? No. Jim Bob Cooter? No. Greg Williams? Possibly. I would go for one of the Harbaughs for sure, but I would not move on from Gase. I'm okay with Gase right now. What did you guys think? So we're talking about Burfict. What did you guys think about the shot on Josh Allen? Did you guys see that? The one that He lowered his helmet. He was running. Detonator, what's up, dude? Doug, what's good, dude? Yeah, Josh Allen's running. He scrambles. He's getting, I think it was about 8 yards. And he lowered his head and kind of took the shoulder from one of the Patriot players. And I forgot the Patriot player right now, but he was out cold. Lights out. Big time hit. That is the risk you take with a Josh Allen type quarterback. Those are the hits that have shortened Cam Newton's career. And in my mind, Josh Allen and Cam Newton, build-wise and sort of play style-wise, they're both pretty inaccurate. They have big bodies. They use it to run. They use it to, the big arms that they got to get the ball downfield in a hurry. And there's talent and athleticism there that really, wow, that was almost a touchdown. That was crazy. There's a lot of athleticism there, but don't care, it's Josh Allen. You got to care a little bit. Dude, Josh Allen and Darnold are friends. They're our division rivals. I got no ill will against the Bills other than when the Jets play them. They're our only hope to really beat the Patriots this year. So, other than that, Patriots are 4-0. They're terrible people. Tom Brady kisses his son. Those sorts of things. Pat's cheating, says Mark. Ethan says, so dirty. I don't know if you're talking about Perfect or of the hit. Allen, Wentz, Lamar, the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL, says Douglas. Lamar is a freak. I would say how do you not have Mahomes in there, Douglas? That's ridiculous. Mahomes is number one. That dude's going to get a $200 million contract. No questions asked. He would be a crazy kind of... What's up, Big Green? Welcome to the chat. He would be a crazy kind of quarterback where if he decided not to sign an extension, like just ride it out. Let's see how many franchise tags we can get. Franchise tag. And then it gets to the point where it's like a cousin thing. It's like, hey, no, look, let's just see what I'm worth. And then see what the crazy bidding war goes to. He's going to get the highest paid contract. He's probably the first quarterback in a while. And maybe like Aaron Rodgers, you can argue, deserved it. And is, but Mahomes is so young. He's going to get a monster deal, and it's going to be worth every penny. This guy's a freak. I don't think it really matters who's on that team. He's going to do incredibly well. I think Andy Reid is an incredible coach, and I'm jealous that the Chiefs have him. Tyler. My last name is Joe Lai. Tyler Joe Lai. Daniel Schaefer. Oh boy, Quinton Williams will be on the field. Imagine that. That's nice. I'm looking forward to seeing him. We haven't seen him since week 1, and honestly, I didn't get to watch much of him because I was in the stands. I was watching. At MetLife, I don't really get the best views in terms of actually watching players play because you don't really get the replays. Alex, I love seeing the Saints knock the Cowboys back down to earth last night. How about Teddy Bridgewater? That's my quarterback. No, I love me the Saints. Saints are my NFC team. I root for the Giants, but the Saints would be my NFC team if I had to pick one. I love Kamara. I'm a big fan of Drew Brees. I've always been. I wanted Reggie Bush so bad, and when he went to the Saints, that's kind of what sparked the Ryan liking the Saints thing. We're 8:30. Okay, we're going to the calls. Sorry, let me stop skimming around and get on the Google Voice. Bum 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 bum. All right, we're live, and we are taking off the boom. Phone numbers on the screen if you want to call in, want to talk. We are watching the Bengals and Steelers, 3-0 Bengals. Probably like a minute behind you guys. Should have sold them for a second. What are we talking about? Andy Reid can never win playoff games, though. Dude, as a Jet fan who hasn't been to the playoffs in a very long time, I would take Andy Reid getting to the playoffs. I don't care. I just want to have a shot. Right now, the Jets have not had a shot in like 10 years. Ugh. Who we got?
Call from
Vinny.
Vinny, what's up, brother? Welcome to the cockpit.
What's up?
Hanging
How
in
you
there.
been?
Another day, another dollar. Had a lot of work.
Yeah,
What'd you think of Football Sunday?
I didn't watch it. I did watch the Bills Patriots. The funny thing was I was laughing at all the idiots who were saying, "Oh, the Patriots were gonna blow them out."
Oh, I agree. I thought that was going to be a close game. Now,
I said it was gonna be no. So I said it was almost said it was gonna be 43-6. It was like no.
no way.
It was
That
like,
Bills
I said, no, it's
defense.
gonna be a low-scoring game, no higher than the 20s. Sure enough, I called it.
That
Well,
Bills defense
the
is going to
Bills-
be probably the best in the league. I think
no.
it's that and the Bears. Those are like the two defenses to watch all season.
The problem with this, the reason, and wow, and I say props to the Bills for drawing first blood.
Oh yeah, for sure. That was the first. What was it? The first opening drive touchdown I think the Patriots have allowed.
No,
that's-
just the first touchdown in general.
Oh, first touchdown. That's right. Because the Jets scored on a defensive touchdown. Makes sense. What have you? What are your thoughts on the Sam Darnold situation? Do you want him to come back and play against Philly, or you want him to sit more?
I'm trying to think about trying to figure out what would be the safest thing to do.
Well, the safest thing to do is definitely to sit.
At the same time, I really want to see him play. It's like you just have to judge it. But first off, for the fact that he's practicing again.
I like it. You had that queued up. You were like, "Oh no, I'm gonna have this waiting
Yeah,
for
no,
when this
but
question
yeah,
comes."
it's all dependent on if this whole bye week is given the line time to master the ancient art of actually trying to block.
The ancient art of actually trying to block. See, our offensive line is so terrible. I don't know if I buy that they're actually going to be able to block anything. Couldn't stop a
I
nosebleed.
definitely think get rid of Winters and Movie Doga there.
Yeah, I think Edoga has got to be the one
I
that
think
we
they got to try
try.
experimenting and mixing with the line and everything. But besides that, I don't really know. Depending how banged up is Phil. I know they're banged up on offense, but how are they banged up on defense?
Philadelphia?
Yeah.
That I'm not too sure of. I have not done too much research into Philly. I've watched their games, but the whole not being very good on the Jet side of things makes it very hard to watch and pay too close of attention to the week-to-week competition. As long as Darnold's out, it's like, okay, how are we going to get our teeth kicked in?
Let's see, cornerback. Mostly they got a cornerback out, defensive tackle out. This is their last. This is week 4. This is their last injury report, and that was about it.
See, I have a very hard time thinking that we're going to be able to stop the Philadelphia team based on what I've kind of seen so far. Now, if we have Mosley, if we have Quinnen Williams, and we have all those guys kind of back and healthy,
Yeah,
sure.
It's all saying if they come back, then we'll have a chance. And who knows? Maybe it'll be like last year. Sam came back from the injury and just lit it up.
Yeah, I hope so. I think, him taking a step back and learning about what he's done wrong and how to play is huge. But
Yeah. Although I was gonna tell you, your name for your live stream is giving me an idea.
oh yeah, what is it?
Well, yeah, for our business,
Oh yeah, what's the business?
the sports bar dedicated to Jets fans. Now, there's only one name for this sports bar. If you can't figure it out, I'm going to be severely disappointed.
Is it the Cockpit?
No.
Well, now I have no idea.
Where do you put it playing when you're done with it?
Where do you put the Hangar?
Yep.
That was one of the names I was looking at in terms of,
Yeah.
naming my show with the other Jet guys was the Hangar. I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not.
No, I just thought the idea of making it, having a sports bar dedicated, because every other team, you go by their stadiums. There's always 1 or 2 sports bars that are just solely dedicated to that team.
Yeah.
You go. So I thought it'd be you have the interior very much themed like a hangar, bit of and then a bit of aviation stuff, a little bit of some jet stuff.
Sure.
And everybody's dressed up in flight suits and t-shirts.
Well, you got to get the sexy flight suits. It's got to be
logo.
We'll make it like Hooters or Melons, and it'll be, booby themed with Jet stuff. Vinny, you got 9 seconds.
All right. Well, I don't know what to say, but let's see what happens this week and go Jets.
I like it. Vinny, thank you very much for calling in. You have been ejected from the cockpit. Woo! Launching chickens across the screen. 0-7 after the Jags game. Steven, yeah, dude, there's a whole lot of, this season could go south real quick. I mean, it already has. What hurts is this whole season had so much hope and so much promise throughout the entirety of this offseason. And literally, one field goal into the season. Gone. Cockpit is better. The cockpit sounds like a gay bar. So I don't know. I don't know if you'd want that as your name for your sports bar.
Call from
Christian.
Christian, what's up, brother? Welcome to the cockpit.
Hey, man. Right off the bat, go Jets.
Yeah.
Hard time right now.
Dude, it is hard times. We're here together.
I'm going to disagree with you, man.
Oh, yeah?
I think Gase needs to go. Sucks for Lincoln Riley.
Mm-hmm.
Bomb the season. I mean, the Jets are notorious for always breaking records, right? So let's do it the right way. Go get Lincoln Riley, go 0-16, get the number 1 overall pick, and then use that number 1 overall pick as trade, to leverage, the Miami Dolphins. They got 4 number 1s this year.
And what do you go? What do you do? Do you trade with the Dolphins? You say, hey, you want Tua? Come and get him. Or do you say, do they call your bluff? What if they pick number 2 and they're like, we're good with Herbert or, Tua, whichever one you don't trade out of, because obviously the Jets would not go quarterback, or I would think they wouldn't go quarterback.
Well,
I've been surprised.
I totally miscalculated that. More than likely Miami would be number 2 or 3 in the draft order anyway, so they probably wouldn't want to trade with it. But something along those lines with another team that's going to need a quarterback, that number 1 overall pick is going to be valuable this year if everyone's trying to bomb to go get this Tua guy.
Yeah, no, it's going to be super valuable. This year more than I think any other year. I think last year it wasn't quite as valuable. You didn't really have the quarterback. Kyler was enticing, but I don't think anyone was really trading up to get him. If he had fallen down to 3, maybe someone makes a move because the Jets wanted to get out, but it wasn't this year. I feel like this quarterback class, is it 3 guys? It's Herbert, you got Tua, and Jake Fromm. I think Fromm's coming out next year. I don't know if he's going to wind up being one of those top 3 quarterbacks, but it sounds like Herbert and Tua are going to be top 5.
Yeah. So let's just bomb the season. Then we give enough draft capital for Joe Douglas. Mm-hmm. Hey, freaking shake and bake, man. Now
dude, shake and bake.
Capital.
I agree.
Draft capital. Let's freaking make this happen.
Look,
let's stop freaking pissing off our fan base.
I want offensive line the worst way, and bottoming out is probably the best way to gain assets without trading away other assets. But at the same time, I'd rather see Darnold play well and know he's our future and have other players get excited to come to New York, because I think you can get value there. I mean, obviously we're going to have to build through the draft, but I want us to be within striking distance of a good offensive lineman. If that means 6 wins, 7 wins, and a good offensive lineman, I'd rather that than bottoming out. Because bottoming out, it tears apart your roster. It really does. Players just stop playing. You can't grade them well.
I think enough people know that Sam Darnold is the truth, and he is a franchise quarterback. So
I think so.
I think if we do bottom out and get that number 1 overall pick, I'm telling you, that number 1 overall pick can get us at least 2 or 3 picks in the top 15 to 20.
If you can get that number 1 overall pick and you can wind up trading out and getting, I would trade with Miami. I would give Miami their first franchise quarterback since Marino, if that's what you want to call it, whatever it is. I would trade to get those 2 first-round picks. They have 3, but I would trade to get at least 2 of them.
Give me 2
because
of them,
it would help us significantly.
And you still stay within the top 10?
Definitely, probably the top 5. I mean, Miami. The interesting thing about Miami is if the Jets get the number 1 pick, that means Miami's probably got at least 1 or 2
Number
wins
2.
against the Jets. They have to play the Giants. They have to play the Washington Redskins. So there's a lot of bad teams that have to go against each other. And it's going to be really interesting to see who actually gets this first overall pick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would be okay if the Jets wound up losing out and getting that first overall pick. I'm not gonna bang my head against the wall. If they decide to sit Sam Darnold and that's the way it happens, you know what? They were safe. They wanted to protect him. They think he's the future for the long term. This season's going to suck if that's the case, and it's going to make me very bored the rest of the season. But I would understand the justification. If Sam looks terrible all year and he's getting blitzed and just whacked nonstop, that sucks. And I don't know.
I'm with you.
I don't want us to be deflated as a fan base.
No, I'm. Trust me, I am 100% with you. But I think this is where ownership needs to step up and say, "Hey, I'm gonna freaking grab the bull by the horns, and this is what we need to do." You talk to all your studs, Le'Veon Bell. You get Adams on board, and you say, "Look, this year is a washout. Whatever. We're going for the number 1 overall pick." The GM, "Hey, we're going for the number 1 overall pick. You need to wheel and deal because the entire O-line needs to be brand new." You know. I do think that the entire offensive line does need to be brand new. I would try to put Udoga in. I would like to try to see Harrison too, because if you could gauge those two, and maybe they are starting players, now you have a little more to work with, because you're going to see. We can go after a wide receiver or something. You know,
we're going to need a receiver because Enunwa is going to be gone. Thomas is only on the roster for 1 year. Robbie Anderson's only got a year.
Robbie.
So it's Crowder and Herndon are the 2 guys we got long term. You got Bell long term, so you got some pieces there to work with. You do have to draft a receiver or sign a receiver, one or the other. I don't know who's going to be out there and available. I know on the offensive line side of things, some of the Washington guys are kind of interesting. I don't know what Washington feels or how they feel about that guard, Sheriff. Who was taken
Sheriff, yeah.
He was taken just before Leonard Williams.
4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
He was taken 1 pick ahead of Leonard Williams, and he's in the last year of his contract.
So swap with him for Leonard.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Call it a day.
I would do it in a heartbeat, but I would have to imagine. I would have to imagine they want to bring Sheriff back. That's a good offensive line. They have a young quarterback. I'd be very surprised if they didn't want to bring him back. Now,
but
if they have to let him walk, I would definitely take him. And I would, you know what, hey, would you like to see what you have in Leonard Williams? We'll send him over to you. You give us Sheriff if you think you're going to let him walk. Or they want to try and get a compensation pick for him. Either way, the Jets should be first in line to try and get this guy. And honestly, I would look into a trade with Trent Williams. If you can get Trent Williams, you can get Sheriff. Now maybe if Harrison's your center, now maybe you're only replacing 1 or 2 guys. There's a lot of interesting possibilities with that Washington offensive line.
Here it is. Here's the trade for this year.
Yeah.
You trade Leonard Williams and Robbie Anderson to the Redskins, and you give us both the linemen, Trent Williams and what's his name?
Sheriff.
And we'll toss in a 4th round pick just for shits and giggles.
That's a pipe dream. I would be absolutely that's a pipe dream because they're asking for more than a 1st round pick for just Trent Williams, and Leonard Williams is not worth the paper that his contract is signed on.
He hasn't even played yet.
He hasn't played yet, but he has played significantly better than anyone.
Let him walk.
Yeah, but Trent Williams is under contract. That's the thing. Like they could just sit him because his contract's going to toll. It doesn't expire if he sits.
So you're gonna be paying a player that could become a cancer.
He may not even be getting paid. I don't know how that works, but he might not be getting paid. They might not. I mean, they're going to be losing their cap, obviously, but they're not paying the dude for not being there.
Because of the fines and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, now, obviously, if he comes back, they'll probably alleviate some of the fines. They'll be like, hey, we'll give you half of it back or whatever. That's what they did with Gordon. But, look, if you could trade Robbie and Leonard and like a 2nd round pick to get the 2 linemen, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Now, I don't think Robbie's going to be here. I don't think we have enough offensive line power to allow Robbie Anderson to run the routes he needs to make a difference in this, like on this team.
But I'm okay letting him go for this scenario that you just spelled out.
Oh yeah, me too.
I'm okay with letting him go because he would be gone anyway. in
I
the
agree. I
offseason.
don't think we're gonna, and I think we're gonna have to spend money in free agency. So I don't even think we're gonna get a compensation pick for him. So
AJ Green.
I would take AJ Green. I mean, he hasn't really been healthy, but I would absolutely roll the dice on him. I think you have to trade for him though. I don't think he's a free agent.
Next year.
Is he?
Yes, I believe so.
No. Now you're gonna make me look it up. Let's see. I
Check
added
him out.
on more time because I was getting interested in the conversation. Let's see. What we got?
I believe next year his contract will expire.
All right. I'm pulling it up right now. We're gonna figure this out.
If it does, dude,
If it does, I
you
would.
go get
That's
him.
someone
That's
I would.
an automatic upgrade over Rob.
You're absolutely
Even
right.
with him,
You're
even
absolutely
with
right.
him being nursing an injury.
He will be 32 years old. He will be an injury-prone receiver, but I would absolutely sign him, given the opportunity. Now, you have to think he has been in Cincinnati his entire career. It's going to be tough for someone who has been there and has roots to want to move. He may just want to stay there, but he may want to get out and try to have a shot. The only thing is, why would he come to the Jets if the Jets don't look like the optimal kind of situation? Like, he might just be going to Bengals 2.0. That's how he could look at that.
I mean, he's probably going to be like, okay, we got Le'Veon Bell, and look at what he did the first 2 weeks with a non-existent O-line. Oh, and we got Sam. I don't know. I think this offseason there's going to be a big shakeup NFL-wide in terms of free agents, and a lot of people could be talking about the New York Jets just because we have a franchise guy, possibly, and he's still on that rookie deal.
Yeah, but then you look around the league, there's a lot of interesting situations. You got the Jaguars, you got Minshew. Maybe he's an interesting, situation. I know they have Foles on that contract,
yeah.
but you have, everyone's going to want to go to the Chiefs as long as Mahomes is there. You got the
Yeah.
Patriots as long as Tom Brady's there. There's going to be a lot of teams fighting for that, like, hey, the Saints, maybe the Chargers. I don't know. It depends how long Rivers plays for, but there's a lot of good teams around the NFL right now, and the Jets don't really stack up well against any of them. So we have to
Right.
draft well. We have to actually be the team that picks up players through the draft and builds
Right.
the way we haven't built. I mean, we haven't drafted an offensive lineman an offensive lineman in the first round since, 15 years ago?
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Dude, thank you so much for coming on.
All right, man.
And boom, I am ejected you from the cockpit. You're out of here. You're out of here. Gave him a little bit more time. He intrigued me with some of his questions. He got down to 10 seconds. I was like, let's see. One more time. What other guys we got going on in the chat? Butt Fumble and Gase, that's a comedy show. Ooh. That's so sad. Tebow is in baseball. Bring back Butt Fumble. Bring back Tebow. Dude, you're killing me. I love me some Sam Darnold. I believe in my heart of hearts that Sam Darnold is the truth. I believe he's the best quarterback that has donned the green and white. That's not a slight at Joe Namath. I just really think he's the most physically gifted. Although I guess Brett Favre and Michael Vick were both physically gifted, so there's that. I don't know. I'm a Sam Darnold believer.
Call from
Detonator 10.
to accept, press
Detonator, what's up, my brother? Oh, he hung up on me. Sorry, Detonator. I had you right there. Had you. I was answering your phone call. You hung up. See how it is. Just don't want to talk to me. I get it. Jets talks too much. Once you get cut by the Pats, you're done. Antonio Brown. Glad he's out of the league. Guy's a head case. Doesn't make any sense. No sense at all. Did the Eagles steal our chant? I don't know. I don't know who had the spell your name first. There we go. My boy Detonator 10's calling back.
call from
Detonator 10.
to accept.
What's good, brother? Welcome to the cockpit.
Oh, thinking like I was waiting, like I think I messed up.
I was going to say, I definitely had. I was like, I answered his phone call, and boop, boop, you're gone. I was like, oh, okay, see how it is.
How you been?
Not too bad. What's on your mind? What are you thinking? What are your feelings on the Sam Darnold situation? Do you want to talk Daniel
I'm
Jones?
still staying. Okay, so we can talk about how my quarterback on my fantasy only got me 0.28 points.
Ooh, who'd you have?
Kyle Allen.
Ooh.
And because, so here's what I did. it was either him or Jameis. So I looked at the Rams defense, and like they're like a top 5 defense. I don't think Jameis is gonna do well. Little did I know he was gonna put up fucking 55 points, but whatever. And then that went down the hill. So Jameis got like 30 points. But when I saw Kyle Allen last week, I'm like, okay, you know what? They're going against a different type of team. I think they can win it out.
Sure.
No, because the guy fumbled it 3 times. He was actually at -2 in the third quarter. I'm like, -2?
Dude, that's terrible.
No.
You can't have your
I'm
quarterback
like-
get negative points and win any fantasy game. Although I can't really talk
Yeah.
this year, my
Although
fantasy
I
teams have
might,
been
I could
absolute
win
garbage.
depending how. Yeah, of course. But I could win depending on how garbage Joe Mixon and James Conner can do today.
Really? Who else did you have on your team
Yeah.
that did well?
No one.
Oh, so
Actually,
like,
I had Nick Chubb. He got me 39 points.
oh well, okay, that's huge. But what? So what did
Right.
the other team just like not have
Yeah,
anyone?
so my team just did not show up today, this week. I had DeAndre Hopkins. He didn't do too much. He actually threw an interception. Don't even know how that even happened. I had that, and then here, let me actually look at my team. It's that, as well as I had Kay Galladay, who did great. I had Todd. Actually, no, I put Todd Gurley on the bench. I replaced him with Philip Lindsay because Todd Gurley wasn't giving me crap in fantasy. He
Dude, that's
actually lost
crazy.
me.
Todd Gurley goes from #1 overall pick last year to bench.
Yeah, bro.
That's
He
insane.
actually went-
That's absolutely fascinating to me.
Yeah, because he wasn't doing well on my team. Like, he only got me, like, I don't know, maybe like 9 points the other week or something like that.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
put in Philip Lindsay. Philip Lindsay got me, like, 27. I'm like, screw that. I'm not going to have Philip Lindsay on my bench again. I'll replace him. And then I also, did something stupid. I was going to, last minute, I was like, I'm going to take out Derrick Henry. Because like, Derrick Henry was also going, because Derrick Henry wasn't, like, a big point. But usually when they get to the goal line, they run it with Derrick Henry. Usually gets in all the time.
Sure.
With on Tennessee. That's why I kept him in. Yeah, never again. So now my dream team for next week needs to be revamped because it is a dynasty league. So next year I'll have most of the same players. So good thing I got Hopkins and Gurley still, and I think I got a nice pick with Hopkins. Yeah, I wasn't like this is my first time like actually doing like draft fantasy because all my other leagues they always want to do auto draft because no one has enough time. Like it's stupid, but whatever, I'll do it. It's free. So yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, so back on Darnold. I'm going to stay optimistic. I am going to stay optimistic because he feels like he can play. His body feels like he can play. Everyone thinks he can play, but his damn spleen needs to know if he can play or not. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And there's no way to check what it is right now. And hopefully, now if this was a Thursday night game, he'd be out. He'd be out.
See, I think
so
I think they'll rest him as long as they're concerned.
Okay.
And that's just
Yeah,
it. Like I would, if they don't think that spleen is healed, I am not risking him. I'm not doing it. Not my boy Sam.
That would have to be the doctor's call. If the doctors say he's 100% ready to go, put him in. You know what I mean? If the doctors say, yeah, it's a little bit bigger than usual, keep him out. Keep him out. I don't even care if it's like the minute like a little above. I don't want to risk a QB dying. Because a large spleen that can get that can be risky. Business,
yeah. Could you imagine Jets finally get their franchise quarterback and then he dies due to a spleen explosion? That would be so Jets. That would be what happens to us.
And we can't have that. I mean, yeah, pray to God that this doesn't happen. Because Sam Darnold's an angel, but it's all right. Actually, I have no idea what he's been doing to even get mono, but we don't need to discuss that. But to go with that. But yeah. So. You know who really hasn't like impressed me at all on the offensive line, really?
Who?
Our right guard, Brian Winters.
Oh yeah, dude, he's been hot garbage. He's been terrible.
Like,
our whole offensive line has been terrible, but he has been really bad. And I'm sure Grandpa Mark's gonna call in at some point, and he's just gonna rant. This guy, although we didn't have a game, so maybe he's not gonna rant too hard.
Because what has he like? I haven't seen him really prevent that many sacks or anything like that. He usually gets steamrolled right past. And if we were versing the Rams and Aaron Donald's on the other side, forget about it. It would be like, don't even keep a person there. It's going to be just as useful as him there. It's going to waste space. That's all he is right now.
Now I will say that I do think we played 3 of the toughest defenses we're going to face all season right at the start. Now, I'm not as concerned from here on out. Like, yeah, Jacksonville is going to be real tough. We still have to versus the Patriots again. But outside of that, I think we're all right in terms of, like, the defensive lines. Like, yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence is going to be good. Yeah, we're going to verse like, some good pass rushers along the way. But I think the hardest 3 defenses, or at least probably 3 of the top 5 defenses on our schedule, we faced in the first 3 weeks. So
Yeah.
I think there's hope for what's going to happen here in the next 10 games or so. But is it too late? Is it
depends
too
on
late at this point in the
Darnold.
season?
Depends on our defense staying. Actually, no, our defense. I can't bash the defense too much. Our defense has been playing pretty solid. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, look how many points the Patriots put on them. Look how many points the Browns put on them." How many points did our offense put on the other team? That affects what happens to our defense. Our defense can be as great as it is, even with C.J. Mosley in there, even with Quinnen Williams if he wasn't there. But for offense ain't doing crap, what's gonna happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just that's the same for every single team. And people are criticizing Adam Gase a little bit unfairly, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "What?"
No,
He's dealing with Luke Falk,
Yep.
who I understand he's a quarterback guru, but this dude is not a wizard. I understand he's a quarterback. He's not a wizard. He can't just be like abracadabra. You're now almost as good as like Tannehill. Mediocre.
Yeah,
But,
no,
like,
it's true.
just-
For what he's dealing with right now on the quarterback side, as well as just being handed a terrible offensive line. Now, they're doing a zone blocking scheme, which is not helping out the offensive lineman. That is a very tough scheme to learn. And if you're not used to playing it, it's not really a good, a good system. You should probably switch to a man blocking scheme and just do helmet on a helmet and try to block the guys out. Just try to help the offensive line as best they can. I don't know what they're going to try and do over the course of the bye week and going into Philly, but something needs to change on that offensive line.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think our first priority is honestly, okay. I don't like Calvin Beachum. All right.
Okay.
I was never a big fan. It's like, I mean, he's a great guy. Don't get me wrong. But although his win percentage is the highest among the offensive linemen, apparently win percentage is like holding him for 2.9 seconds, which I find ridiculous. But all right. So that's how you know you get a win. But you just saw he might have been blocking, but he was getting pushed into the quarterback. Like that's not good. Like if you're getting pushed into the quarterback, and it's no good. If you can't like stand there.
You've been ejected from the cockpit. Sorry, dude. Thank you for calling in. I brought the timer there for a reason. I gotta have my my ejector seat actually working. Because if I don't use it, what is it there for? Whatever. He makes some good points. Kelvin Beachum has been... Kelvin Beachum? Blah, words. Beachum has been halfway decent. Of the offensive linemen, I would say I'm the most okay with how he has played. I heard the whole entire O-line. I didn't hear anything, though. Eject Winters from the cockpit. Boom! That's why I gotta create an ejector seat for Winters.
Call from
Peter.
Peter, what's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
Hey, Ryan, how you doing, man?
Not too bad. I can't complain. How is your night going?
It's going better than I expected, you know?
Yeah,
Not
watching
the
a little
best day in the
bit.
world, but
You watching Monday Night Football, or are you just hanging out bullshitting with me?
I actually just got back in the house like 5 minutes ago. I just did a 2-mile run.
Nice, good stuff. Are you a cross-country runner or a track runner or something like that, or are you just like just love exhausting yourself?
Well, you could put it that way. I'm kind of like a very long distance runner. Like my missions is like I run from one state to another whenever I can. And so far I ran in 10 states.
Oh, that's awesome. See, I used to live on the New York-New Jersey border, so I could walk across the border, and that was kind of like me running from state to state. And that's like as far as I got. I was a sprinter in high school, so like I can't run distance to save my damn life.
All it takes is just breathing, man. There's a lot of techniques into it. It doesn't matter like how old you are, man. It's just all about your breathing technique.
Dude, I don't think I could do it. My endurance, and it's probably because I've had one too many Taylor ham, egg, and cheese sandwiches or one too many pretzel M&Ms, but I am not built for running anymore. I am built for drinking beer and arguing about sports on the internet with random
Yeah,
people.
I'm kind of the same way, but I always do everything I can to make things possible.
No, I love it. I love it. What's your take on the whole Sam Darnold situation? Do you want to see him play? Do you want to see, what do you think about Leonard Williams? Give me everything. What are you venting about for the Jets?
Well, at this point, man, when it comes to Sam Darnold, I want to see him play, but there's another part of me that is scared to put him on, knowing the fact that they don't know if he's physically 100%. But at this stage, we really need him the most because we're going up against a team that we have never beaten in our 59-year franchise.
Yeah, what are we like? We're like 10-0 or 0-10 against Philly.
0-10, every meeting we have, whether if it's in Philly, whether it's at home, we never beat them.
Now, I don't remember the last time we would have been real competitive against Philadelphia. I mean, I guess it's every 4 years? That's how that works out?
Yeah, it's every 4 years when we play the NFC East. And honestly, the closest we ever got to them was 2015. We just lost by a touchdown.
That's what I was going to say, because 2015 we were competitive with Fitz and, the whole first year of bowls. But before that, yeah, even after that, that would have been 2011. We were terrible. And then you're going back to 2007. That's when we bombed out and got Sanchez. Before that would be 04. I don't remember where we stood in 04. But 02 was the playoffs, so 04 couldn't have been very good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It just hurts, man. Playing a team that we never been. It makes me scared a little bit because I know how they are, but at the same time, I feel like this might be our opportunity because they're going through a cornerback situation themselves.
Yeah, I mean maybe you catch them sleeping. Oh, dude, Mark Myers just called it pork roll. Dude, you're from South Jersey. I'm from North Jersey. It's Tellerham, dude. Okay. Okay. So if you're talking fear in Philadelphia because of the the team that they've built, I mean they're definitely a better team than we are right now, especially with Sam not 100%, not having Mosley. I think not having Mosley is huge. If we had Avery Williamson on the field,
having Mosley is so huge. He's the captain.
Yeah, our team. It sucks because we're literally missing some of our best pieces on the entire team. It just totally makes us.
That's what hurts us the most. But you know what? At the same time, I can't really complain about the defense because they do everything they can and put as much effort as they possibly can. Because I was actually at the Monday night game against Cleveland where we got blown out, and I see that the defense tried so hard, but it just got to the point where they were just too tired.
Well, that's just. Ooh, sorry. I felt like I sucked in helium. That's just it. You feel like you watch this defense, and they are trying. They're putting everything out on the field, and the offense just can't stay on the field. If we could run, if we could have any sort of, just offensive momentum, there would be so much of a chance for the Jets to win. Now, I don't know. You look at how the Jets move the ball in Buffalo, and you look at the other teams that have played Buffalo so far, there is more hope than I think we got to see from week one. Seeing Sam struggle against Buffalo isn't the worst thing because Buffalo could be the best defense in the NFL. I think the Bears are probably 1, Bills are probably 2, but either way,
Bills are probably 2 on my book because I seen the way they played. Despite the fact that they lost to the Patriots, they held them to only 16 points. Everybody was expecting a blowout.
Oh yeah, for sure. Dude, it's absolutely incredible to watch that team right now, and I think I'm probably going to watch more Bills games based on how this Jet season's going right now, and it's a little sad for me because I want to be excited to watch the Jets play, but every week that we don't have Sam Darnold in there is just killing me.
It's the same thing for me, dude. Especially I come all the way from Maryland just to see my team.
You drive all the way up from Maryland just to watch the team?
Pretty much, and I'm originally from North Jersey, but I reside in Maryland now.
Okay, so now since you're in Maryland, have you changed from Taylor ham to pork roll, or are you a pork roll guy?
No, I'm a pork roll guy.
Ah, you're a weird dude. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to eject you from the cockpit. Boom! Sorry, dude. Taylor ham for life.
That's it! You're out of here!
You're out of here! Ah. Ha ha! Pork roll. That's so weird. Wawa. Wawa's amazing, Joe. Douglas says build the wall, the O-line. I could get on board with that. I get it. the big green wall, the jet curtain. I don't know. Man. Build the wall. Oh, God. I've worked too long for this. Get Ohio State's wall for an O-line. Yeah, dude, if you can get any of those big fatties from like Wisconsin, Ohio State, instantly better offensive line. Our offensive line is hot garbage. Guys, we got 35 people watching the chat. Drop a like down below. Follow me on Sportscaster, right up there. They help support the channel. I'll be doing a whole bunch of really cool things once we actually get out of my busy season. I'm a little too crazy with work right now until I get through really October. Once I get through October, I'll have a little bit more fun with you guys. I'll have a little bit more videos. I have a video talking about the potential of, or have the idea for a video. I guess I shouldn't say anything else. But a Jamal Adams video talking about the what if situation. Like, you trade Darrelle Revis. What if? We saw what happened. You trade Darrelle Revis. You don't sign into the monster deal. You get nice pick back. Doesn't turn into anything. Although, technically, if you love Sam Darnold, you love the trade that we had with Darrelle Revis. Because in a roundabout way, Darrelle Revis got us Sam Darnold. Without Darrelle Revis, we don't trade to get that number one pick. That number one pick netted Sheldon Richardson. That Sheldon Richardson deal lasted, 5 years or whatever. We traded him to the Seahawks to get that, second round pick? Got that second round pick. Without that second round pick, we don't trade up to number 3. Without trading up to number 3, there's no Sam Darnold. Someone else moves up. So, Darrelle Revis trade nets you a franchise quarterback. So, could Jamal Adams be our Darrelle Revis and get us the pieces that we're missing? Could he be the piece that gets us the offensive line? Touchdown Steelers. By the way, they are now winning. Big Green, my buddy, my friend, Doug Last, Joe, Mark, thank you for hanging in there with me. Peter, talking on the phone. Tyson, my boy, thank you. Not in a million years. I'll give you guys a sneak peek into the video, you 32 that are watching. I would not trade Jamal Adams. You would have to give up a ton to let me trade Jamal Adams. I really like Jamal. I think the value that he brings, even if he's not impacting the field right off the bat, is so much more valuable. This Jets team was such a laughingstock prior to getting him here. Oh, we got our boy. We got our boy.
Press 1 to send a voicemail.
Grandpa Mark, what's up? Welcome to the cockpit.
Well, hello. How are you today?
Not too bad. I'm hanging in there. What is on your mind?
Well, I don't have so much to say this week because obviously we didn't play, so I got nothing to really bitch about,
Oh, it's absolutely true. It's very tough to complain when there's no game and you're missing so many people. When you start missing as many people as we're missing, it's like, I get it. I understand why we're losing. We're losing because we don't have the talent on the field.
Well, that's for sure. We definitely don't have enough talent on the field, and we definitely don't have enough talent on the offensive line. So I don't know.
So talk to me. What are you feeling? What are you feeling about the rest of the NFL? Let's not talk about our Jets for a minute. What's the most intriguing story for you around the NFL?
Well, I'm not going to say Daniel Jones because I'm sick and tired of hearing that name.
Oh my God, it's nauseating at this point. So many people are talking about it, and I get it. If it were Sam Darnold winning, I would be super happy and I would want to hear everything about it. So I get it, but I'm not buying into it just yet. I'm buying into the kid. I'm happy he's doing well, but you're playing two of the worst teams in the league.
Well,
Jamie,
you want to know
what's up,
something? I think they should just skip the whole playing Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones should retire right away, and he should be put in the Hall of Fame right now.
I think you're absolutely right. I think that's, basically where he's at. You look at what he's done, he doesn't have a helmet catch in the Super Bowl. He doesn't have a consecutive start streak where he doesn't get injured. No, look, Daniel Jones, he's performing like a rookie. He's had games, and here's me being critical, and it's me being, biased because I'm a Jet fan and I want to find a little more salty reasons to maybe not like Daniel Jones the way the Giant fans do. But I watch his plays, and it looks like, he should have had another interception yesterday. That would have been 3 interceptions. He should have had an interception the week before when he had, 2 fumbles. So the guy's turning the ball over at a pretty alarming rate. And they do watch stats like that. Like Sam Darnold last year, I think, had the highest percentage of potentially turnover-worthy plays. I think that was the Pro Football Focus grade. And I would have to imagine at this point through 2 weeks, Daniel Jones probably has the most turnover-worthy plays. Him and, Baker are probably 1 and 2. So it's not look, we believe in Sam, so there's no reason that Giant fans can't believe in Daniel Jones. But the Daniel Jones hype train that is all over the radio, all over the TV networks, just,
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And look, yesterday, Washington, I swear, I watched most of that Giant game yesterday. And watching the Redskins play reminded me of so many Jets teams. Can you believe how many penalties the Redskins committed yesterday?
The Redskins are what kills me, and it's been the same way since probably 2000, and maybe it's even before that, but at least for the time that I've really been cognizant of watching other teams outside of the Jets, the Redskins are basically the Jets of the NFC East. That's just how I felt forever. And then there was that portion in 2002 or 3 when we lost John Hall and Chad Morton and Laveranues Coles and all these guys to the friggin' the Redskins. I was like, oh, great. Now the Jets are moving to the NFC, and they're just called the Washington Redskins. And it just feels like it's always been the same. It's shitty ownership that we've had. We've had terrible ownership, or at least, terrible moves from within our ownership. And I think the Joe Douglas signing this year feels like it's been the most correct of the years that we've had under the Johnson family.
Yeah, no. Hopefully Douglas is going to turn out to be a top-notch guy, which I think he will. But let me ask you something. People are talking about Jamal Adams, and I know you love your Jamal.
Yes.
But if this season ends the way I think it's going to end,
yep.
Okay, and Jamal comes out and says, he raises his hand and he says, I want out.
Yep.
Would that really be such a horrible thing if we were able to trade him and get back a boatload of picks for a couple of years?
So here's the thing. I would hope that if Jamal wants out, I hope he doesn't say it publicly. I hope it's behind closed doors, and I hope it's under the disguise of the Jets ownership just making the move. Because I want to believe in the worst way that that Jamal Adams only wants to be a Jet, and he only wants to be here. And I would love for that to be the case, but I do understand, look, a safety is not going to win you the games that an offensive line can. And if you can trade Jamal and supplant or solidify your offensive line because of trading him, it's not the worst move. It's not a bad move to make. I understand it. It would hurt me because of the player and the personality that Jamal is, but there is an aspect of that trade that makes sense from a pick utilization standpoint or asset utilization standpoint, because realistically, if it's going to take us 2 years to rebuild this offensive line, we now have Sam Darnold 2 years. We have 2 years on cheap deal after this year. Then it goes up to his 5th year option, which it kind of inflates, and then it's his 2nd year or his 2nd contract. So you really only have 2 years to potentially win a Super Bowl. And if trading away Jamal possibly gets you that, I don't know. It sucks.
Yeah, if the guy is unhappy and he doesn't want to be here, then you got to let him go. And if we could get back a boatload of picks for him and some good picks, I can't see why not. I can't see it. And And from the way he's behaving right now, it looks like that could be the road that the Jets are on at the end of the season.
Well, what if it turns into like a... Now, I don't know how much room the Cowboys have, but what if the Cowboys say, hey, we'll give you an offensive lineman and a first-round pick? Do you make that move?
Are you absolutely?
It could be their worst one. It could be the worst offensive lineman. I don't know who that is off the top of my head.
I don't know if they, as far as Dallas is concerned, I don't think they have a bad offensive lineman.
That's just it. They've been so good for the last 4 years on the offensive line that I would take anyone on that offensive line. I think they're really good there, and God, it would really kill me to see Jamal leave, because I think the recruitment aspect that Jamal brings to the team brings excitement. I think there's a fan base aspect that really gets the fans engaged on social media. I don't think there's any other player on the Jets that's as engaging as Jamal Adams. And it kind of peels back a layer for the fans. And to see someone so passionate about our team, we really don't get that very often. You'll get guys that are go Jets.
Look, you know something, Ryan? That's all well and good. That's all terrific.
Yep.
But if you can get picks for him, and obviously Douglas has to pick the right guys or trade for the right guys.
Yep.
Winning is what is going to pull everything together, not Jamal Adams.
It just hurts me to trade such a known commodity for an unknown. If you're getting, it's a gamble, right? So when you look at the Darrelle Revis trade in a vacuum, if you're not really taking into account Sheldon was traded and we eventually got Sam, and you say, hey, we traded Darrelle Revis, we got Sheldon Richardson, we got a defensive rookie of the year, and that's it. We really didn't get anything out of Sheldon Richardson after that, and that hurts. We had to watch Darrelle Revis win a Super Bowl with the Patriots, and I would much rather have not seen that. But I'm really glad we got Sam. So it's hard for me to say that.
Right. Now this whole Sam thing. Look, I personally, when I was 23, I contracted mono.
Yeah.
And and look, that's when I was 23, and I was in pretty good shape. I was never in Sam Darnold shape, but still, it takes everybody I know over the years who have ever had contracted mono. It really takes anywhere from a month and a half to 2 months to really come back from that. So the worst thing in the world would be to see this kid come back to him to rush back and possibly relapse. That would be the absolute worst thing that could happen to him.
Oh yeah, you can't risk Sam's career at all. You cannot risk the fact, if you really believe, I am steadfast in my belief that Sam Darnold is the truth. I really do. And I think if there's a threat, if you call it a 10% chance that spleen could rupture, you put Sam on the bench and you say, or even if you say to the fan base, hey, we're going week to week, we're going to figure out if Sam is healthy enough. And you kind of give us hope. You give us a little bit of hope, and it's year after week after week. I'm okay with sitting Sam. I just feel bad for all the players that are laying their careers on the line. You got Jamal fighting like crazy. You got Bell fighting like crazy. You got Mosley coming back from an injury. That would really hurt for me to see that and to shut them down for a year, but it would not be the worst decision. I don't think you risk Sam's career because I think he's the truth. I think he's 15 years of solid to elite quarterback play. And if that means, protecting him and sacrificing a year of everyone else, I think you have to make that decision.
Now, let me ask you this. Somebody brought this up, not in your show, but on a different show.
Sure.
And I kind of agree with it. Why haven't the Jets, since Sam went down with mono, why haven't the Jets picked up a better quarterback? This Folk character.
Yeah.
This guy is not. He's not an NFL quarterback. And you have a guy. I mean, I know the guy never did anything great, but you have a guy like Brett Osweiler sitting out there probably waiting to be picked up by another team. He's been on Gase's teams. He knows Gase's system. I mean, why not pick up a guy like that who has experience and who has won games in the NFL? Why not bring in a guy like that in the interim? I just don't understand this whole. I don't understand what they're doing. I really don't.
Look, I don't like Brock Osweiler. I'm not a fan of him. I think he's not very good. I think there's a reason why he was traded for a first-round pick. Like, that's insane to me. That you could trade away a quarterback, say, hey, we're going to eat the entire salary, and we're going to take your first-round pick. Like, that's something I wish the Jets would do. I think he's really bad. I understand them not going for a quarterback because you believe in Sam Darnold. You don't want to add quarterback controversy when you put so much effort into Sam Darnold. I have one person saying, what about Colin Kaepernick? I don't think Colin Kaepernick is a good quarterback either.
No. Look, Ryan. I'm not talking about keeping Brett Osweiler and keeping him over Sam Darnold. I'm just talking about somebody to come in here and possibly win a couple of games until Sam comes back. And I know he's not a great quarterback, but right now, I personally would rather you would rather have Luke Falk behind center right now instead of Brett Osweiler?
I'll be honest, I would. I don't. If I had to try and win games, yeah, maybe you take Brock over Luke Falk. But I'm actually, when I was watching preseason, I thought Luke Falk was our number 2 quarterback. I didn't think that Simeon should have really been on the team. He was only there because he knows Gase, and it's like, I get it, whatever, but like, sorry, you've won some games, but Falk looked better in preseason. He's young. Look, it's not ideal, but I would like to see us do well, or at least attempt to do well with a young quarterback that we could potentially trade for assets, than adding in Brock Osweiler, possibly winning games, possibly, I don't know. I would like to see us try to gain ground with an asset with Luke Falk over, rolling the dice on Brock Osweiler and possibly wasting more cap. Like, we already have Luke Falk on the team. I'd rather, I don't know, roll that cap over and potentially help us the next year. Like, if Sam's not going to play, our chances of the playoffs are slim to none. Our chances to the playoffs this year, at a very optimistic standpoint, was 10-6 and probably not getting in. That was sort of where I stood as like a very optimistic outlook on this entire season. So losing him, going 0-3, like, realistically, why would you spend more money? Is Brock going to help you beat the Browns? Is Brock going to help you beat the Patriots? Probably not. Realistically, you would have gone with Simeon. He knows the offense, at least for the Browns game. You would have gone in with the Browns game, and probably no matter who you bring in, you're probably not winning the Patriot game. So
no. I mean, I wouldn't have brought in Osweiler for the Browns game, but after that, I mean, the last game, somebody else should have been in here. So, all right, we'll agree to disagree on that point. But lastly, when is the next trade deadline? It's like at the end of October, isn't it?
Yeah, I want to say it's week 7 or 8. I'll Google it right now.
Okay. I think it's like October 29th or something. I don't know. But what I'm getting at with that is
October 29th.
Okay.
After week 8.
Okay. What I'm getting with that is they got to look into trading Leonard.
No one's going to take him, though. That's the thing. His contract is like virtually untradeable. It sucks. I would eat the entire contract of Leonard Williams if it got us anything. Like, I'll say, hey, you want to take him for free? We'll eat the $14.2 million. You give us anything, and that's fine. Like, I would almost cut Leonard Williams right now, just to see who we have next.
He's just been an absolute disaster, and it's
such
so
a disappointment
because there are certain people, like, I don't know, I think on ESPN and whatever, saying, well, Well, he's had 10 hurries.
Yeah, look, I understand the thought process with hurries, and I've defended it because when you put pressure on the quarterback, you fall from a I'm looking at Tremaine Johnson. You fall from like a Ben Roethlisberger quarterback rating down to a Blaine Gabbert. So there is a statistical, thing that can back up hurries and pressures and things like that. But Leonard Williams just has looked so bad this entire year, and he really hasn't done anything to make me believe in him at all. And I would much rather get anything for him. And someone mentioned the Jerry Jeudy from the wide receiver out of college this year, the best receiver since Amari Cooper coming out. And Amari Cooper is actually a free agent. I don't think they've re-upped him yet. I think he's sitting on that deal. And I would, if they're going to re-up, Dak, which is, more than likely definitely going to happen,
Right.
I would try to go all in on Amari Cooper. I would try to make him a very high-paid wide receiver this offseason. I think that would solve at least our receiver problem going into next year.
Well, I'll tell you right now, my guess, and I think I've said this before on your show. My guess is this team is going to look very different from top to bottom next season. It's going to be a very different team. You watch and see.
Yeah,
And
I think our receivers are going to be totally different outside of Crowder.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about. I wouldn't even be so surprised, and I'm going to go there now. I wouldn't even be so surprised if Le'Veon Bell gets traded.
Oh God, that would hurt.
I know, but I'm telling you,
You think?
do not be surprised. And if it happens, you could say, "Hey, Grandpa Mark said it first."
Yeah, no, that would be. It wouldn't shock me. I mean, I don't know what you would get for him because that's a pretty expensive deal to trade him. You'd have to get some kind of lineman or an asset back. I mean, if you really want to build up this team, it's almost like you have to rebuild, which sucks. I feel like we've been rebuilding for just years, and it just absolutely kills me.
Yeah, Ryan, we've been rebuilding for years, but we've been rebuilding like a freaking idiot.
Oh yeah,
that was the major problem. But listen, before I hang up, I know we spoke about this before. The Joker coming out this week. Possible Oscar nominations. Go see it.
I've heard great things about it. Everything that I've heard rumor-wise has been nothing short of fantastic, and it's actually one that I'm going to probably go out and see. I love the Joker. The Joker's probably one of my favorite superhero-y kind of,
Well, you know what I really like about it is I haven't seen it, but everything that I've heard in the reviews is it's very disturbing and extremely violent.
Good. That's exactly what the Joker should be. There was that 80s or 90s Batman where the Joker was this fun, crazy kind of guy, but the best Joker was hands down the Heath Ledger Joker, where the guy was just a lunatic, and that's what the Joker should be.
Right, and hopefully, everything is pointing to Joaquin possibly winning an Oscar. So I'm looking forward to it. So now Warner Brothers should give me something for the plug. But anyway.
Mark, I love you for calling in.
Have a great night, brother.
Thank you for calling in. I look forward to talking to you next week. Boom! Grandpa Mark has been ejected from the cockpit. You're out of here! You're out of here! God, I love that little emoji of the chicken flying across the screen. For those of you on Sportscaster. For those of you on Sportscaster, I appreciate you tuning in, and I wish you guys could see the little chicken. Normally I have the whole display that I have going on in this whole overlay on my screen. Looks really good. For some reason, Sportscaster was not letting me stream it. It's giving me a little frustration. Not really sure why. But But thank you guys for tuning in
Call from
around the Sportscast.
Big Green.
Big Green, what's up, brother? Talk to me.
Not as much. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm hanging in there. Are you a pork roll or a Taylor ham kind of guy?
Taylor Ham. Same
You're a
thing.
good man. You're a good man. You can stay on the. I was gonna eject you if you said pork roll.
The same damn thing.
Oh, it is. It's very weird to hear pork roll though, as a North Jerseyan.
Yeah, I came up here to New York and I order it, and people think I'm like ordering something from like a Chinese menu. I'm like, what the hell are
it's
you
insane.
talking about?
I went to school in Binghamton and we went to a bagel place. I was like, I'll take a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese. They're like, what? I was like,
Exactly.
like Taylor ham. They're like, no,
They don't
what
know.
is that? I was like, oh, I guess just ham. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and then they'll give you a piece of deli meat.
Oh, it's
ridiculous.
confusing. Yeah, they're like, man, they don't even know what it is. I wonder if you could. I never tried to say pork roll because I don't know if I actually heard someone say pork roll until I was like out of college and like took a few trips down to South Jersey and realized that those people were just wrong about life.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, what's on your mind, dude?
Oh, well, we were talking about whatchamacallit, you guys about trading players. So I was thinking, like, listen, we got to get rid of Leo. I'm thinking we can get rid of Anderson, maybe get like a third or fourth rounder for him. And that's
Yeah.
being kind.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably the height that you'd get. If you get a third round pick for Anderson right now, I think you got to make the move. I don't think you'll get that much for him though.
Yeah, we need that offensive line. Thank God Darnold wasn't playing. Otherwise, he'd be where Simeon laid up for. Yeah, I think his career's over. I think Simeon's career's over after that.
That was a scary injury. That was
nasty.
I'm shocked it didn't break. The fact that he only tore ligaments is fascinating to me because that leg looked like it just flopped.
Yeah. Oh, God. But yeah, I was listening to some people like, oh, 8 to 10 weeks out. I'm like, mono. I'm like, I forgot mono. Really? 8 to 10 weeks?
Dude, if Sam Darnold, if they're saying, yo, he's got to be out 8 to 10 weeks, you just punt on the season. Like, it sucks, but get this guy the next, Quentin Nelson. Get him an offensive line. Because now, look at the Colts. The Colts are a good team because they have a good offensive line. That team probably has one of the top 5 best offensive lines in the league, and they're going to win games because of it.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I got T.Y. Hilton in my fantasy.
Oh, yeah, so do I. I had him in my Dynasty League because I had Andrew Luck, too, and I was like, boom, wombo combo, and then Luck retires. And then, get this. So I have Alex Smith and Andrew Luck. I was like, oh, I'm fine. Alex Smith, career over. Andrew Luck retires. Okay, you know what? I have Zeke. I'm just gonna trade him for a bunch of players. I'm gonna see what I can get. I got a first round pick. I got Antonio Brown. Boom, career done. The quarterback I got, Trubisky. Like, God damn it! I'm done with fantasy. I'm so sick of this shit.
Well, if I were you, I'd pick up Josh Allen if he's still available.
I can't. That's what kills me is because it's a dynasty league. And the way these guys play is there's 27 roster spots per team, and there's 12 teams. So there's no quarterbacks. You can't even pick up a backup.
Pick up Rosen.
Rosen you could probably pick up, but he's so bad. I can't do it.
No, it's not that he's bad. It's just I was watching some of the plays. It's just what he's dealing with. His receivers can't catch.
Dude, that's just it. So it's a dynasty league, and I pay $250 a year to be in this league, and it's just a friggin' joke. We started it last year. And I went in and I was like, okay, you know what? I had some bad injuries, but I'll make up for it this year. It's fine. My quarterback's gonna be back. Luck retires. So now I'm done. But it absolutely killed me. And I went into the league. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be the guy that does one and done. I'm gonna do 2 seasons at least. And then my team just has the most amazingly burnout, explosive offseason that I've had. And now I'm like, guys, I can't afford it. It's going to cost me $1,000 over 4 years to try and rebuild this goddamn team. Sorry, that's me venting.
Oh, yeah.
I'm watching some replays of the Perfect hit. What do you think of the Vontaze?
I didn't see the play. But
Oh,
what is
man.
It, 12-1?
Dude, it was so bad. He just lowered his helmet. The guy was falling over, and it was a very clear, yo, I'm going to hit you in the head because I can right now.
Well, then, yeah, he deserves to get to because originally this morning at work, it was 6 weeks. Then, 10 minutes later,
I saw
I
that.
had the full season.
I saw 6 weeks they were talking about it, and then I saw season. I was like, good, this guy's an asshole. And he's actually someone that I would have actually preferred in that draft, late in the draft, because I was like, look, this guy's a good linebacker. Yeah, he's a dirty player, but he'll play. But the fact that he has done as much as he has done would have drove me bananas as a Jet fan.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Now, what do you think? You think we're going to beat the Eagles? I mean, they seem pretty depleted on cornerback. I think.
If Darnold plays, maybe we have a shot. If Darnold doesn't play, I think we're done. There's no way. I can't see Luke Falk coming out that much better this week than we saw.
Well, I think he will because he never had any playing time with the first team. So
Yeah, and that's true. So
I don't think
you throw him in.
I mean,
you throw him in mid-game, and then you throw him in on short rest against one of the best defenses in the league. I think that's fair. I think we're going to see a better Luke Falk than we had prior. And I was talking to Grandpa Mark about this, and I like Luke Falk. I was a fan of him.
Oh yeah, I didn't think Simeon deserved the number 2 spot. I thought Falk deserved.
I didn't think Simeon was our number 2.
But I was watching ESNY and he was doing the breakdown.
Yeah.
And Adam Gase was scheming people open. It's just Falk wasn't seeing them or.
That's what I heard. I got to watch more of the ESNY. I've seen like bits and pieces of it, and I just haven't actually like committed to sitting down and watching enough of it.
Yeah, but it's definitely, I think the first play needs to be play action. Just throw it deep.
Oh, just
put them
unload.
Everyone thinks, and which I'm not surprised, it's going to Bell. The first down, first play of the game, it's going to Bell. Nah. Now let's change up play action, go deep. Let's start picking on them corners.
Oh, I agree.
I know they're pretty depleted after all those injuries.
Dude, I completely agree. Dude, you got 10 seconds.
All right, go Jets.
Go
Get
Jets.
That offensive lineman.
I love it, Big Green. Thank you for calling in, brother, and you have been ejected from the cockpit. You're out of here. Trying to get back into the timer. I keep forgetting. I have to hit this little button every time someone gets on the phone, and I get so excited to get a phone call that I forget to actually hit the button. So I'm sorry, Big Green. I cut your call to exactly 5 minutes, even though I love having you call in. What do we got? How many people we got in the chat? Got 32. Not too bad. Got 34 likes. Guys, drop a like down below. If you haven't followed me on Sportscaster, it takes 2 seconds to join over there. Drop a follow. It would mean the world to me.
Call from
Chris from Florida.
To accept, press 1.
Chris from Florida, what's up, brother?
Hey man, what's up? Let's go Jets, Jets, baby.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I missed you last week. I was in a bet signal calling last minute, and Uncle Mark was so I knew I wasn't going to get in. So
That's all right, dude. I appreciate you calling in. What's on your mind? Talk to me.
well, let's see. Let's be honest. I hope we don't put Sam Darnold in for the Eagles game, just because with the whole Adam Gase always giving us the non-exact information we need on injury update. I'd rather just be on the safe side. Let Sam not play. Better yet, even if Mosley too. Like we're gonna take the hard ball. Quentin Williams has already been given the green flag. I just don't want to put any of our major players out now. I'm like, might as well just put in the secondary. The fact is, one thing we got to look up is all offensive line. That is the main focus right now. I think Gage should be worried about. Let your injuries, let your major injuries that you need heal up and work on that offensive line, and that would be the standing point.
I agree. I think there's a flaw in grading the offensive line, I think, without Sam, and that sort of sucks, but I do agree with you. I wouldn't play Mosley. I wouldn't play Sam. If one's not healthy, why risk the other one's health? You're probably not winning either way. Give the backups a little bit of time to learn and grow, and maybe Hewitt or Cashman. Now, I really like Avery Williamson, but we can free up $6.5 million in cap space next year if we cut him. So if one of those guys can step into that role, because we have big money committed to Mosley, maybe you free up Avery Williamson. Maybe he becomes a trade asset. Who knows? But then you look at the offensive line, right? And I would play Jonathan Harrison right now. Khalil's just not working out. I would be like, hey, Khalil, look, maybe you should retire. Let's figure it out afterwards. I would play Edoga too. I think Edoga in the preseason, based on what I saw, is worth a shot. Worst case scenario, he's bad, and then you just go back to shell. Like, that's fine. I can admit that is, the right move. But I think Edoga and Harrison have both earned a shot to at least play.
I agree, 100% agree with that. I thought Edoga was injured though. I thought they played him on the previous game with the Browns and he got hurt. I thought.
Ooh, is he? I could be totally wrong on that. I definitely would have
Because
missed
that's
it.
what I thought. Like I thought they played him one game and then he just got injured right there and then. That was when he was with Simeon.
Ooh, I'll be honest, I don't know. I did not follow that. I had I'm more on board. Like, look, I'd like to see him play. I really want to see Harrison play. Harrison's kind of the key cog because it seems like the center position has been the issue for us the last 3 years, really since Mangold left. And man, I thought it would be solved with Khalil, but there's just no chemistry. None of these guys played together in preseason.
No, and I have to agree with you. I guess we were trying to keep Khalil like safe on the hand side where we didn't want to immediately hurt him and stuff.
Sure.
And he just came out of retirement, but unfortunately, that was the thing that probably hurt us the most was that he didn't get to work with any of our first strings, not even for a quarter of a game. So
Yeah, that's the most I saw out of Khalil was in the green and white scrimmage, and that was, kind of a joke. Douglas says Harrison should start in place of Winters. Honestly, I think Harrison should be on the starting offensive line somewhere. I think center is probably where I'd start him because I don't think Khalil has played well, and I don't know if it's really worth it.
I agree. I think Khalil is pretty much either still needing to catch up on where he left off with the Panthers, or he's just or he just needs to realize the reality and his time is done.
Dude, I appreciate Joe Douglas going out and pulling someone out of retirement and being like, hey, look, I'm going to try and find his offensive line help. Like, I don't blame Joe Douglas for the Khalil signing, and it going wrong. Like, we had no other option, and he was able to at least give us a shot. Like, this is, even if it was a Hail Mary, I don't think it was a Hail Mary, but I think it was, it was a shot in the dark. You didn't know what you were getting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. A lot of people have been telling me the way they phrase it is like your GM was tombstone hunting, and I'm like, yeah, but at least he was hunting in a gold mine. He's been hunting over some raggedy field. He was looking at where people were mentioned, names, big iconic names. So again, I agree with you on Joe Douglas not being at fault for that. However,
Boom! Chris, you've been ejected from the cockpit. See, I like this timer. It's kind of fun. I like talking to Chris, too. I was bummed when Chris didn't call in last week. Chris, I love your face, or I love your voice, whatever. Call in next week, or call in again. That's fine. I don't mind talking to people twice on the stream. I have fun with this. Let's go to the chat, see what we're doing. TTMTBF WWF. What do you say? Also, Quinnen who I didn't want, but that's just me. Now, the Quinnen pick is looking better because of Leonard Williams. If Leonard Williams was looking good, I would have preferred Josh Allen, I think. We were kind of at a worst case scenario. We probably should have just taken an offensive line. Chris, thank you. You will call in next week. Boom. I appreciate it. Dick Long, 2 serious neck injuries. I think he's done. We're talking about Enunwa there. I agree. I think Enunwa is probably done. He does have guaranteed money. If he's still injured, we need him to rest. If he can clear a physical, that was a quick ejecting. It was not a quick ejecting. It was 5 minutes. It's a timer clock. I just forget to hit it on the other ones, so everyone gets 5 minutes. I think Enunwa's career is done. Unfortunately, he is owed money, and I think that means if he's healthy, we can cut him and we don't owe him money. But he's got an injury clause in there, so we'd probably designate him a June 1st cut, so that way it spreads the cap hit a little bit more, unless we just have space to kind of eat it up. We'll see. I do think his Jet career is probably over. Man, everyone's saying that was a quick ejection. You guys don't know what 5 minutes is. Sorry. Search up Andrew Thomas, great O tackle in the draft. I can't wait to start doing my, well, no, I can wait. I don't want to start doing my draft research yet because it's like way too early in the season, and I feel like the draft is like the Jets Super Bowl year in and year out, and that just kills me. McCagnon would have choked on an O-line pick. Yeah, dude, he's been bad on O-line. I'm just happy we got someone who's got a scouting background at this point. Gase handpicked the GM. Of course, he has control on the roster. Yeah, no, dude. There's no way Gase is gone after this year. I don't care about. I'm cool with giving Gase at least another year. At least. I would give him probably 2. I have no hate. The timer was fair. Thank you, Chris. See, I think people enjoy the timer. Maybe not. I could be wrong. I enjoy seeing a little chicken go flying across the screen. It makes me feel good. Does everyone know the origin of the ejector seat? We were talking about the ejector seat prior. I was like, oh, I should really have that. Sports fan, hi again. We had been talking about doing an ejector seat, and then I had a situation with Google Voice where it would just drop calls, and all of a sudden people were gone. And I was like, whoa, didn't know when that was going to happen. So then I was like, oh, well, you know what? Maybe I'll put a timer on the ejector seat. I also have the auto, like hit the button and the ejector seat goes. And that's fun. But having the timer and the ejector seat makes you kind of hustle through some questions, and you get a little more questions on air. I like it. What do we got going on in the chat? Mac treated O-line like it didn't exist. True, he didn't draft anyone except for Shell and I guess Edoga. It was good to draft Quinnen Williams. It was good to draft Quinnen Williams because I think everyone knows Leo was leaving. Yes, Leo was. There's no way we were keeping Leo. But if you can get a pass rusher like Josh Allen, who I was not real high on. I was high on. Well, I wasn't high on Polite. I was high on Polite after we picked him. So I went back and I looked at his tape. I wasn't high on him prior to that. But I was very pro Quinnen Williams over Josh Allen. Like I was okay with that pick once I started diving into it. But Josh Allen has looked good. I mean, he's on a really good defense, so maybe that's helping it. But I mean, I was Oklahoma coach Big Green. You're talking Lincoln Riley. Man, if we got Lincoln Riley, I don't know. I would. If he was like, hey, I'm going to come to the Jets if you fire Adam Gase, okay, I'm fine with that. If we're like, hey, let's fire Adam Gase to try and get Lincoln Riley, bad move. Not a good move if I were the Jets, because if you can just move on from a coach after 1 year when he didn't have control over anything on the roster, that's not okay with me. And I wasn't a big Gase fan when we signed him. I was a big McCarthy guy. I thought McCarthy, at least had a proven record. He'd come in and be like, hey, look, this is how we did it over there. But I understand he has Aaron Rodgers, Gase, smarter maybe with the play calling, didn't have as much to work with. But there is something to be said with Gase running Miami. They are now probably the worst team in the league. And you got the Jets. Not too much better. Sports fan wants me to play Rock Angel again. You guys know Rock Angel. I'll turn it down a little bit. Maybe I'll play it in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Guys, fun fact. I got a new microphone. So I don't know how you guys feel about the audio this week. But I have been... And I got a pop filter. Pop, 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 pop. Pretzel. Penguin. Pantyhose. I'm not leaving, don't worry. I'm just playing Rock Angel because you guys wanted me to play Rock Angel. I love the intro song. The intro song, I had like 2 or 3 in mind for this, and I decided to roll with this. And I'm glad I did. It seems, at least like 3 of you guys like it. Oh, man, we got... Oh, man, damn, I only got 9 minutes. Okay. So now it sounds like I'm leaving the show. Not quite. Who we got? Liz Marie Soto. Is that a girl? Do we actually have a girl in here other than Becca? What up, Liz Marie? You know what they say about girls on the internet. Girls on the internet are just guys pretending to be girls. That's fire. The audio's amazing. Oh, I'm glad. This is good. I got the whole like extendo arm too, like pull it out. Yeah. So we're gonna see. For the live streams, I use this. For my regular videos, I use my other audio mic. Kind of fun. I can't wait to actually make more of my regular videos for you guys. They just take a little bit of time and a little bit more research, so doing it during busy season, not as easy. Always said 14 million was too much for Leo. That money could be used to help us find O-line. I agree. But we had, 25 million left in cap prior to the Khalil and Thomas signings and everything. So what should we do with that 14 million? We probably wouldn't have done anything. We really needed the... What we really needed to happen was the Jets needed to go out and get some offensive line. You needed to get either Paradis or Morse, one of these guys, to at least help the offensive line. And I'm not saying that either one of these guys are playing real well, because I haven't done the research on those guys, like following up on them. I think we should have gone after Norwell. Was it Norwell last year? I think it was last year. That was one I wanted to go full court press on. I would have made him the highest paid guard in the league, and it would have made way more sense than what the Jets did. The Tremaine Johnson contract, probably one of the worst contracts in the NFL right now. Are you watching the Monday Night Football game right now? I am. I am watching it. Although I'm not going to stay on for the duration of the Monday Night Football game. I would. I'm tired. I've probably put in like 40 hours worth of work through like 4 days, and I'm shot. I had to look, I get excited to do this live stream each week, but man, this one was a little tough for me because it was just like, okay, bye week, feeling tired. I'm gonna come on because the people want to hear me talk. Nah, I just want to hang out with you guys. Matthew Grainer. How will he surprise us if he sucked last week and he had opportunities to throw the ball and didn't? Are we talking about Gase or are we talking about Falk? I don't know. Could be talking about either one. No, I think we punted the last 2 weeks. And I'm okay with it. I'm not upset. How much is Johnson's contract in guaranteed money? God, we owe him a crap ton of money. We can't cut him. We can cut him after this year. If you designate him a June 1st cut, it's not as bad. But we really can't cut him until after next year. We're stuck in a terrible contract with him. Luckily, his contract's probably not going to prevent us from getting any kind of players because we have a lot of cap space anyway. We just don't have good players that we want to resign. Like letting Leonard Williams walk, it really isn't the worst thing. Left tackle is a problem. I agree. The cheerleaders would probably play better, Joe says. Boring game. Yeah, dude, you're watching. I'm looking at the stands, and the stands for the Monday Night Football game, Steelers versus Bengals. It's a division game. The Bengals are terrible. The Steelers are terrible. It's just a bad thing all the way around. Douglas owes it to Jets Nation to explain the cause of his mono. Douglas. I hope it's not from like sharing a soda with someone or like something like that. Did anyone else see the Pornhub thing that came out? And they said they would give Pornhub Premium to all the Jet players so that way they didn't get mono and it didn't spread. And I was like, what about the fans? I need me some Pornhub Premium. Sorry. This is supposed to be a PG show, and now I'm talking about the nastiness that is on the internet. He looked like a shutdown corner at the time. No one should be blamed for signing him. Look, I get it. Tremaine Johnson looked like a shutdown corner. The Rams let him walk. I don't know if there was any sort of contract negotiation or if it was just like, hey, look, I get it. He's probably gone. Now, Greg Williams did have Tremaine Johnson in LA, and I was hoping there would be some kind of revival to his career. But I credit Adam Gase and Greg Williams for benching Tremaine Johnson and just playing like a scrub. You're playing the best players possible. Now, I wish that was the case on the offensive line, and I hope it's going to be. Like, I hope that what we saw was not the best of our offensive line. That's, like, kind of hurts. Tremaine projects better as a safety now. I don't even think that's true. I'll be honest. He doesn't look good at all. Their D will make everyone look good. Well, when you have Aaron Donald and you have all these pass rushers, that defense is filthy over for the Rams. And the fact that they just got destroyed begs the question, do I know anything about football? That's all Greg Williams, not Gase. I agree. Look, Greg Williams has been as advertised. C.J. Mosley, at least for game one, was as advertised. Le'Veon Bell, as advertised. He has been very good, and he has tried. I cannot blame Le'Veon Bell for anything that is happening to this team, and it kills me. But I will say this, he has made it entirely clear that offensive line is so much more important than running back. And that's not to say he's not a phenomenal back. I'm very glad we have him, and he is a threat that the Jets offense is going to be able to utilize once Sam Darnold is back. But man, it makes me want offensive line 10 times more. That offensive line for the Steelers was just filthy. You know enough. Talking about me? I hope I know enough. I'm going to the Jets vs. Cowboys game, says Sports Fan. Wish me luck. I hope it's not a boring game where the Jets get blown out. I have a very hard time wanting to spend money on any of these games. I do want to see the Jets vs. Giants. It will depend on the price of the tickets, because if everyone's going high on Daniel Jones and then Sam Darnold is full strength, it's going to be an expensive game. But who knows? Maybe we'll do some type of meetup. We'll go to a bar or something, and we'll hang out and watch that. Me and my buddy, one of my best, it's my buddy D-Mac that was in the stream earlier. Him and I went to a game, Jets-Giants. It was the year, I don't know if it was Christmas Eve. I think it was Christmas Eve, where Victor Cruz just went off on the Jets. And the Jets did not play well. We went to the game, tried to scalp tickets. They were like $250 a pop, and we're like, dude, I brought $200 with me each. I didn't think they were going to be that expensive, but I thought we'd get some kind of ticket just before the game. So we're like, all right, screw it. We're going to leave. Let's go to Hooters. And we go to Hooters, and for I think we spent $50 between the two of us. We drank like kings. We ate like kings. They had this deal. It was like $20 maybe. Okay, so maybe we spent $100. I don't know what it was. $50 each. We spent like $20 or $25, and we got a pint glass. We got a Christmas hat. We got a calendar of all the Hooters girls wearing sexy lingerie and bathing suits. It was fantastic, but the months were not in order, and I didn't even know it. I kept it. I was like, oh yeah, I'll look at it. And my buddy goes, oh yeah, did you look at that calendar? No, I haven't looked at it yet. It goes September, February, December, July. And I'm just flipping through. I was like, I don't care. I guess it makes you look for the month and look at all the girls on the pinup thing. Now, Becca does not like that calendar, and I had to, unfortunately, get rid of it. So, I guess I got to get another calendar. No, I don't think I'll be allowed to do that. Notice when you live with your fiance, you don't have all the fun stuff on the walls that I used to have. I have this picture. It's a naked ski resort. It's all cartoony kind of characters. Not allowed to have it on the walls. I don't know why I'm marrying her. Terrible decision. No, I love you, Becca. I'm admitting it to all 30 people that are watching right now. And maybe she's watching right now, too. She might have the audio on. Or she can hear me from the other room. We'll see. Jordan Jenkins faked an injury versus the Pats. Did he? I didn't know that. I fell asleep watching that game. It was terrible. About to be 17-13 or 17-3. I'm watching the game right now. Man, this game's terrible. It's really not good. I wish the football was the football that I had when I was. Everyone says oh, football was better back in the day. It really was. Now I think football was probably at its peak when I was probably 2004, 2005, when you have the Peyton and you have the Brady, back and forth, and you have Donovan McNabbin's prime, you have T.O., Randy Moss, all these guys that are just studs. And you got to see jacked up. The game has totally changed. Oh, guys. 32 people watching. I love your faces. If you haven't dropped a like, drop a like down below. I said this was going to be a 2-hour show. So here comes Rock Angel. This man's got to go to bed. I'm tired. I'm not sitting here watching this game. 17-3. At least one of these teams will be not totally defeated after today. Guys, I appreciate you for tuning in, calling in, having fun with me this entire time. It has been a blast, and I look forward to having you here next week on The Cockpit. But for now, this is Jets Talk, signing off. One more time. J-E-T-S.